So there were 240 bits in the box. The number of red, blue and yellow bits were in the ratio of 5:2:3. So good if you can summarize the information. So red is to blue is to yellow. Wendy, you need to learn how to keep your mouth shut. You're so close to me, it's very easy for me to smack you. Okay, now this is the ratio for the number of colored bits. Sean put another 60 bits in the box. So, but we do not know the colors of the bits, right? We only know that he placed another 60 bits in the box. As a result, the number of red bits increased by 10% and the number of blue bits increased by 25%. Okay, let's work this out first. All together here is how many units? 10, right? So you know that 10 units equals to 240. 1 unit equals to 24. Correct? So knowing that 1 unit is 24, I can find out what is 5 units. I can find out what is 2 units and I can find out what is 3 units, right? 5 units will be 120, 2 units will be 48, and 3 units will be... So I know that I have 120 bits of this, 48 bits of blue, and 72 bits of yellow. Correct? Now, to the next part. Okay. The number of red bits increased by 10%. So, from 120, right, it increases by 10%. That means red bits, right, will be 110 over 100 multiplied by 120. Am I right? To get the number or the new number of bits, right? Correct? Okay. So what's the new number of red bits? 132. So we know that since it's 132, the number of red bits increased by how many? The number of red bits increased by 12, right? Because from 132, from 120 to 132 is increased by 12 red bits, yes or no? Okay. Now, let's look at my blue bits. Blue bits is 125 over 100 multiplied by 48, right? So what's the number or new number? 60. So we know the red bits, right, actually increase. Okay, so this is the increaser. Red bits actually increased by 132 minus 120 to get 12. Blue bits increase to 60 from 48. You also get 12, right? Yes or no? Can I find out the increase in the number of yellow bits? Yes. I can, right? Okay, so yellow is actually 60 minus 12 equals to 36. Okay. Now, by what percentage was the number of yellow bits increase? So I need to use this one. I will need someone to answer it. Leroy, tell me, how do I find the last part? By what percentage was the number of yellow bits increase? Better start thinking, because I may ask any of you. How do you get 65%? I need a working. Alexis, please help him. I want to know by how many percent did the yellow bits increase. What's the working? Or I can rephrase it, what is the percentage increase in the number of yellow bits? Previously, you couldn't answer this percentage increase as well. If you cannot remember, Alexis. Isabel, please help her. Tell me the working, please. Do you all agree with Isabel? Yes. Because we take the number of increase in bits, right, which is 36 bits, right, over the original number of yellow bits, right? So it's 36 over 72 times 100% equals to 50%. So answer for part A. You know that there are 72 yellow bits at first, and part B, the percentage increase is 50%. Correct? Because there's an increase of 36 bits. Right or wrong? Yeah. Do you understand what is happening, Leroy? Alexis, do you understand? Lauren, okay? Are you okay? Anyone has any problem? Can I move on? Okay, let's look at question 2. Belle had $50 to buy a certain number of roses. There was a sale in the shop and a discount of 20% was given for all items. Okay, all the items enjoy a 20% off. As a result, Belle was able to buy 5 more roses than she would have without the discount. Okay? So at first, right, at first the roses cost her $50. Am I right or wrong? Correct? Okay. And then there is a 20% discount given for all items. So this number of roses, the same number of roses at a discounted price, would have cost her how much, Alexis? Same number of roses. How much will it cost her? Originally, she paid $50. Now, to buy the same number of roses during the sale, how much did it cost her? $40. Do you agree with her? Yes. Because the roses enjoy a 20% discount, right? Yes. After a 20% discount, she will just pay $40. That means she has a savings of $10, right? Yeah. And these $10 allow her to buy what? Yes. Okay, this $10 savings, right, allow her to buy 5 more roses. Okay, so we know that this $10 divide by 5, you get $2. Okay? But this $2, what is the meaning of this $2? What does this $2 stand for? Wait, Jing Kai. I don't feel that I ask very difficult questions in classroom. Sky, please. During discount or without discount? With discount or without discount? The price of one rose without discount. With or without discount? Do you all agree with him? Yeah. This is the price of a rose, right? Yeah. With discount, right? Yeah. Okay. Very important now for you to know what does it stand for. Price of a rose with discount. Correct? Okay. So, you know that since this is the price of a rose with discount, you know with $50, she has $50 and she wants to spend everything, right? Yeah. How many roses can she buy, Kaden? $50 divided by $2, right? Yes. So she can get 25 roses. Okay, so the first part quite easy. Part A, what? How many roses did Belle buy with the discount given? She has $50. Each rose costs $2, right? So she managed to buy 25 roses. Anyone disagree with my working? Please let me know. Okay? Now, next. Okay? The next thing I need to find is the price of each rose before the discount. Okay? Now, we know that this $2 is after a 20% discount, right? That means it means 80% of the price, right? Yes or no? So now I need to find, which is actually 2 over 80. We need to find 100%. 2 over 80 multiplied by 100, which is how much? $2.50. Okay, $2.50. Remember to write our answer clearly at the bottom. So ANS, part A. Part A, the answer is 25. Part B, the answer is $2.50. Anyone do not understand the how I solve this? Okay, is it clear? Yes. Okay, if there's no problem, let's move to question 3. A basket containing yellow and white tulips, 3 different color tulips. 20% of the tulips were pink. Later, the number of pink tulips was increased by 5% and the total number of yellow tulips and white tulips were increased by half. Mary found that there were 123 tulips more. How many tulips were there in the basket at first? Okay, so we know that, let's say at first, okay, all the pink, the yellow, and the white tulips at first is 100 units. This is at first. Right? Yeah. They say that 20% of the tulips were pink. If 20% of the tulips were pink, how many units were pink, Jing Kai? 20 units, right? Then how many units were yellow and white, Alexis? $80 units. Anyone disagree with this so far? Okay. Later, the number of pink tulips was increased by 5%. Okay, let's look at later. Now I'm looking at my after. my pink tulips increased by 5%. That means 105 over 100 multiplied by 20 units, right? And that will give me 21 units. Okay, so far? Yeah. Increased by 5%. And the total number of yellow tulips and white tulips were increased by half. Then when they say by increased by half, that means increased by 50%. When they say increased by half, that means it's increased by 50%. So what I'm having is my yellow and my white tulip will be 150 over 100 multiplied by 80 units, and that will give me 120 units. Okay, so far? Yeah. Okay. She found that there were 123 tulips lot more. So I know that for pink, right, it increased by 1 unit, right? For the yellow and white, it increased by 40 units. Yes or no? Correct? And all this is equals to 123. Am I right? So I know that 41 unit equals to 123. 1 unit equals to 3. How many tulips were there in the basket at first in terms of units? Call it out. 100 units, right? Okay, so I need to find 100 units, which means the answer is 300. Anyone has any problem with this? Quite easy, right? Okay, very doable. Next question. Mrs. Lee bought chocolate bars and lollipops for a party. She spent $112 on the sweets. Each chocolate bar cost $2.50 and the cost of the lollipop was 7/5 of the cost of each bar of chocolate. In case you do not know what does 7/5 mean, let me show you what it means. Okay, this is the chocolate bar, and it is actually $2.50 based on the question. They have a lollipop. When they say 7/5 of the cost of the bar of chocolate, that means 7/5 of $2.50. Do you understand what does this statement mean? 7/5 of the cost of each bar of chocolate is actually this. Can you understand how to translate the words into mathematical statement? Okay, right? So 7/5 of $2.50 will give me $3.50. Okay? 30% of what she bought were lollipops. Okay? So you know that she spent $112 on the sweets. When they say sweets, it's not sweets per se. They're not talking about sweets as in candies. They actually call the chocolate bars and the lollipops, they are known as sweets. Okay? Right? So chocolate bar and the lollipop are considered sweets. Understand? So sweets is not another item altogether. So please do not misinterpret. So actually, how many items are there in this question? Wait. Sky. Sky, I asked you a very simple question. After I explain it, you need a calculator, is it? Wow, okay. Right, he needs to copy out 10 times as well. Okay. Leroy, please. Do you all agree with what Leroy said? Yes. Okay, there's only 2 items, remember. There's only 2 items. One is chocolate bar, the other one is lollipop. Sweets is the main category, okay? Right? Understand or not? Okay? So, yes, sweets is the total. Right? Now, 30% of what she bought were lollipops. That means you know that chocolate bar to lollipop is actually 70 is to 30, right? So for every 7 chocolate bar, she actually bought 3 lollipops. Yes or no? For every 7 chocolate bar, she actually bought 3 lollipops. That's considered as one set. Am I right or wrong? Okay. So we need to find the cost of one set, which is 7 multiplied by $2.50 plus 3 times $3.50, right? And what would that give me? Huh? $28. Okay. So $28, okay, is the cost of 10 sweets. Correct? Correct? $28 is the cost of 10 sweets, of which 7 is chocolate bar, 3 is lollipop. Okay? But we know that she did not spend just spend $28. She actually spent $112. So knowing that, what is the next step, Jack? Ernest. Sorry? Just tell me the working gang already. Ernest says $112 divided by $28. True or false? Correct. When you use $112, okay, you use $112 divide by $28. Okay? The answer is quite straightforward, right? It's 4, right? Okay, and what does this 4 stands for, Kaden? 4 sets, right? You got 4 sets of sweets. And you know that in each set of sweets, right, there's 10, right? So now, how many sweets did she buy? 4 multiplied by? 40. Equals to 40. Okay, let's look at the next question. Okay, Adam, Bob, and Chris went bowling together. Adam spent 20% more than Bob. Bob spent 25% more than Chris. If Adam spent $58 more than Chris, how much did they spend altogether? So we have 3 persons, Adam, Bob, and Chris. Okay, out of these 3 persons, based on the second and the third sentence, second sentence is Adam spent 20% more than Bob. Third sentence is Bob spent 25% more than Chris. Okay? Now, who spent the least? Brandon. Chris, right? Do you all agree? Okay, if Chris spent the least, who spends the most? Jingjie. Sorry? Okay, so now, since Chris spends the least, right? We let Chris be 100 units. If Chris is 100 units, and you know that Bob spent 25% more than Chris, how many units did Bob spend, Danish? 125 units, right? This one we don't need to use much calculation, it's quite straightforward. Okay, and for Adam, you know that Adam spent 20% more than Bob. So, how many units did Adam spend, Shen Wei? Use your calculator, I'm not stopping you. You know, exam, there's a duration, right? They don't wait forever. Okay, wait. Caroline, please tell me. Sorry? 100 and? Can't hear you. Can you please 150, is it? How do you get 150, Caroline? Can you tell me? 100 and? Paulina, can you repeat what? I couldn't hear her. Huh? She used 125 divided by? Okay. So she actually used 120 over 100 multiplied by 125 units, right? Do you all do the same as her? How many units do you get? 150 units, 150. Okay, so now that we know this is 150 units, next, if Adam spent $58 more than Chris, you know that the difference between Adam's and Chris spending in terms of units is how many units, Lauren? 50 units, right? So we know that since the difference in units is 50, is equals to $58. How much did they spend all together? So we know that all together in terms of units will be 175 units, right? Okay. First, I can find 1 unit first, which is 58 over 50. Then I use 375 units, which is 58 times 375. Sorry, how much is it? $435.